Well, welcome back. Police say one man is in custody after an 11-year-old girl and a 34-year-old woman were stabbed in central London. The extent of their injuries is not immediately clear. No motive has been released for the attack. The stabbing in London is the latest violence in the United Kingdom. It began after 3 young girls were killed late last month at a dance class. Yesterday, the first victim was laid to rest at a funeral at St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Southport, England.
From glory to glory, mirrored here, may our lives tell your story.
The 9-year-old was remembered as a child who not only said thank you, but always gave a reason for saying it. During the funeral, her parents called for an end to all the violence in the wake of their daughter's death. All right, for more, let's bring in Tim Stanley. He is a columnist for the UK's Telegraph newspaper and a convert to Catholicism. Tim, great to be with you today. We appreciate it. I know you tweeted on X, formerly Twitter, all of our problems are moral and spiritual. The dark truth is that many Britons, including millions not watching TV, are burning internally. A crackdown on the far right and civil liberties, an intellectual lockdown won't make that go away. Tell us more about this and why you decided to put that out on X.
Because we obviously have profound structural and economic problems in this country. The places where the riots happened tended to be poorer. We've obviously changed because of mass migration. Communities rub up against each other and they conflict. But none of that helps to explain why people would resort to violence. It doesn't explain the nature of the riots themselves. And I think part of the problem is not just mass migration. It's that Britain is a country that has become secularized. It's become heavily individualistic, consumer-led, and I think people are living quite fragmented and lonely lives. If you look at the profile of the people who have been going to court over the riots, and we've arrested approaching 1,000 people, which is extraordinary. We never knew the state in Britain was capable of enforcing the law and order this way. But if you look at the profile, certain features stand out. A lot of them were drunk. Addiction is a problem. A lot of them come from broken homes. A lot of them have deeply poisonous political views. These are people who one suspects are rioting over immigration, yes, but would riot over something else and are rioting internally. It frustrates me in Britain across much of the West that we always reduce debate to the immediate things, to the economic problem, the racial tension. We don't ask the question, what is wrong with us as individuals, and how do we fix it as individuals? And I feel that part of that process is rediscovering spirituality and religion.
And I understand more than 25 faith leaders from churches, synagogues, and mosques released a joint statement in response to the riots. And they call on residents to be responsible citizens in a digital world. What kind of impact does a statement like that make or have? Do you think it resonates at all?
Well, that's a very good way of picking apart what I've just said. It'll have almost no resonance. I mean, just to give you a stark example of this, when the riots kicked off, it was joked that white people targeted mosques, but Asian gangs targeted pubs. Right? So just think about that. Where was it that Muslims, do we think, gather the mosque? Where is it, do we think, white Britons gather the pub? No longer the church. I'd argue that devout Christians and devout Muslims have a lot more in common than people who are devout and those who believe in nothing at all. I often feel more comfortable. I instinctively relate more easily to conservative Muslims than I do many secularized Britons.
And Tim, no doubt all this is a real test for the UK's new government. And while it seems like the situation maybe at the moment is under control, how do you think the Prime Minister moves forward?
The Prime Minister has been focused on law and order, and he is a former Director of Public Prosecutions, so he knows the right people to call, he knows the right buttons to press, and a lot of us have actually been quite impressed by how swiftly he clamped down. The problem that many of us have with him is he seems incapable or perhaps unwilling to articulate a positive vision of what unites Britain and to explain what comes next to knit the country back together.
And we're going to leave it right there. Tim, thank you so much for coming on and speaking to us about all this. We really appreciate it. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.